So normally when you go on a jump pad, you don't go very far. But one day I was playing and I found this glitch that made me get launched by the jump pad way further than usual. So I experimented and found the first way, which I will now show you. First, make sure that hold to sprint is off and that you are sprinting. Then run towards the jump pad, crouch to slide, and let go of W while continuing to slide. Just as you are hitting the jump pad, quickly flick your mouse around to the opposite direction, and boom, you have just super jumped. But this way is difficult, so I found another, much easier way. All you need is a conveyor belt running into your jump pad. Then you just do the same thing as before, but without the mouse flick. And there, it's a much more reliable way. And as you can see, you go about the same length as the other setup. Even with how great this glitch is, it does still have its limitations, such as the first version at least being FPS dependent, meaning it's easier to do with lower FPS. Another limitation is that it only works in single player or multiplayer world that you're hosting, so it's a bit harder to flex on your friends by flying halfway across the biome with ease. Also, depending on what direction your jump pad is facing, it can be more difficult to perform. Another thing to note is that, from my experience, the second version is a lot easier to do with slower conveyor belts, and as I've found no downside to using slower conveyor belts, I recommend sticking with Mark 1s for that. There's another physics bug known as the hypertube cannon, so I was wondering how this holds up against that. A single super jump is equivalent to about 4 hypertube boosters, which will use 40 megawatts, while each jump pad uses 0.1 megawatts while idle and 5 megawatts in use. This makes them much better, especially early game, considering they can store 5 jumps even when power is out. Even with these results, you still have to remember that hypertubes are much more expandable than super jumps, and sadly I couldn't find a way to combine the super jump and the hypertube. And that's all for now, so if you've got any questions about this bug or have any more information about it, leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.